Do you ever wonder why you attract the same kinds of relationships? Toxic, narcissistic, abusive, disrespectful. Do you keep saying that your type is a bad boy rather than a good guy? And when a guy is actually nice to you, you get the ick. This is because of your own unhealed trauma. And this is what we have to work on. We don't really crave a bad boy. We just think that that's the model of love. We think that toxicity is love. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing. We don't want a bad boy. We just think that's what love is. We've grown up with a model of love that is toxic, that is violent, that is abusive, that is disrespectful. So when we grow up, we actually we end up attracting these kinds of relationships unconsciously because of our own unhealed trauma. And this is the thing. I've seen this with so many women. You know what I mean? They've only known bad guys. So when a good guy comes along, they get the ick. It's like, he's too nice. Oh my God. You know what I mean? And this is because it's unfamiliar territory. That's why. It's not because we don't want it. It's because we don't think we deserve it. We just don't know what that looks like. You know, when we have been so familiar with unhealthy relationship dynamics, when we've never seen true love, when we've never seen a man actually respect a woman, we think that that's what love is. You know, and I did a video on healthy masculinity, you know, and I mentioned that I was attracted to vulnerable men. I love to see a man open up. I love to see a man cry and express his feelings. But men are afraid to do that because of what they've been told. It's not masculine. A man can still be masculine and show emotion. This is the best of both worlds. And a lot of comments I got was like, women don't want a nice man. Women don't want a man to be vulnerable. Women will shun and shame a man for being vulnerable. And that this is why I'm doing this video, because this is down to unhealed women. Unhealed women disrespect healed men. And, you know, because that's all we've known. We think like it's this alien concept. It's like something we're not used to. And that's the thing. We've been treated so badly by men. We've witnessed, you know, toxic relationships in our childhood. And we think that if a man is nice to us, there's an ulterior motive. Why? Because narcissistic men are great at the fucking start at showing us this niceness, this love bombing, this kind of behavior. And we've been treated badly by them over and over again. But when a man does come in and actually starts to treat us with respect, show us emotion and vulnerability, that scares us. And that's what it is. And this is what it all boils down to. We need to start healing ourselves. We need to start, like, you know, one thing that really bugs me is that for generations, men have been told not to express themselves. They've been told not to be emotional, not to be vulnerable. This has led to so much mental health issues among men. This is heartbreaking. But as unhealed women, we've literally been adding to that bullshit. And we haven't been accepting men for their vulnerability. And that's another thing. That's what we need to change in this. You know, my video on healthy masculinity was speaking towards the men and how they should heal their wounds enough in order to be able to be vulnerable and authentic. That's what it is. It's authenticity. Stepping away from the crowd and living in your true self. But us women have our part to play as well. We need to heal our wounds so that we're ready to accept a healed man. We need to be healed women in order to accept a healed and loving relationship. You know, and this for me, initially, that was me. The bad boy was my type. But it didn't, you know, we say, oh, I crave a bad boy, I need a bad boy, oh, my type is a bad boy. Oh my God, Jesus, your type doesn't fucking work. Your type was toxic. And for me personally, I grew up, you know, my mum left when I was a toddler. My dad, well, he had a relationship, you know. Anyway, that was the relationship he had was volatile. You know, I witnessed abuse, I witnessed toxicity, I witnessed violence. So I attracted that into my reality. That's the thing. Have a look at your exes, girls. Do they look like your father? Because this is to do with your daddy issues. You know, when we don't have the affection and the care that we've gotten that we should have gotten from our parents or from our dad, we end up seeking that outside ourselves, but we end up attracting a reflection of the father figure we had. And that's the thing. We have this need to change men. So we end up attracting a bad boy type so that we can change them, so that we can fix them, so that we can cure them. Because it's an unconscious belief that, hey, we couldn't fix our dads, so maybe I can fix another person. It's this weird part of us that's like, you know, maybe I can make up for my childhood by changing a bad boy into a good boy. Why don't you just go for a good boy and leave the narcissists where they are because they can't fucking change? And this is like, you know, like my dad was an alcoholic as well. So my narcissistic ex was an alcoholic. He drank every single fucking day, and I ended up drunk for most of my 20s. The next relationship, there was violence in it, another reflection of what I witnessed as a child. And, you know, this is exactly it. The two volatile relationships that I had in my 20s were a reflection of the love I'd seen as a child. And that's why I attracted bad boys. That's why I attracted narcissists. That's why I attracted disrespect. And this is the thing. Us ladies, we don't want disrespect. We want to be loved. But we've only ever known disrespect as love. So that's why we put up with it. That's why we think this is a normal relationship. This is how love should be. I witnessed disrespect growing up, so therefore, you know, if my man disrespects me, it means he loves me. This is what's wrong with the world. We need to start healing our wounds. Get to the bottom of why you're attracting these kind of people. Like, you know, have any of these relationships made you truly happy? Do they work out? No, that means your type is not a bad boy. It's an unhealed tendency that you keep repeating over and over again. The reason we repeat cycles is to learn the lesson. If we don't learn the lesson, it will keep repeating. That pattern will go over and over again. So if you, like, you know, if you're serial dating and you keep attracting assholes through online dating or whatever you do, this is a clear sign that you're not supposed to be doing this shit. You have to start healing your stuff. People don't give themselves enough time. This is another part of it. Like, we have these codependent tendencies that we cannot be in our own. We've been told that we need protection. We need to be in a certain relationship dynamic where we have to, you know, we need a man, or we need to be, you know, looked after. This is bullshit. And that's another reason we think that we want a bad boy. It's like we think we've been, not only has society led men to believe that they need to be this all macho, I build fire energy, the women have been led to believe that as well. That a man isn't a real man unless he can build you a fire. I can build my own fucking fire. You know what I mean? I'm well capable of doing these things myself. We need emotional protection, soul protection, vulnerability, authenticity. None of this macho bullshit. You can still be a masculine man with muscles, and you can still be strong and, you know, assertive, while owning your authenticity and owning your feelings. It takes bigger balls to be vulnerable than it does to cover up that shit. So these men who are trying to be macho and hiding their feelings are actually weaker than the men who are actually able to be vulnerable. Listen to that one. Anyway, sorry, but that's a fact. And as you know, as I've said, us women need to respect that shit. Instead of getting the ick by a nice guy, how are guys, like, if you continuously reject the nice guy for being good to you, for being vulnerable, for being emotional, for being open, what's that going to do to society? Like, you're adding to this patriarchal bullshit if you're rejecting a man for being his true authentic self. This is it. And like, ask yourself these questions. As a woman, would you like for your future daughter to be treated the way you are in relationships? If the answer is no, then heal your shit and change your type. As a man, would, you know, an unhealed man with toxic masculine traits, and how you treat women, would you like for your future daughter to be treated the way you treat women, or would you like a man to be open, vulnerable, and authentic, healed, aware of himself? This is all questions we need to ask ourselves. You know, as women, like, well, as men and women, We are the future parents, or our parents, of the future of humanity. Like, you know, and this quote came up, like, you know, us, you know, we're the future mothers of future men. In other words, the world is full of narcissistic men, and I'm not saying they're all narcissistic, but it's our job as parents or future parents to make sure the future of humanity is a safe place for our children and for future children. So how we treat our partners, how we treat men, or how we treat anyone, you know what I mean? Men, women, whatever. How we treat other people is so fucking important. And it all comes down to your wounding and your unhealed wounds from childhood. It's how you are accepting or receiving or perceiving love. Like, what did you witness as a child? Did you watch your parents, you know, attack each other, be verbally or physically abusive to each other? Did you witness violence? Did you witness separation? Did you go through abandonment? Does your exes have the same traits that your dad did? This is you seeking for that validation that you never got as a child, but you're seeking it in a familiar place. You grew up thinking that was what love was. To be disrespected, to be abused, to be, you know, treated like shit. So that's why we attract that. So that's why it's so important to do our healing. You know, and it's so important anyway. You know, you shouldn't be getting into a relationship to change a person. This is not what we should be doing. You get into a relationship and you help that person become more and more of themselves. You know, you don't change them. And this is the thing, I've seen this with so many marriages. People getting married so young, making their partner grow up too quickly, trying to change them into something they're not. And then there's resentment, there's cheating, there's separation later in life. You need to find a partner who matches you and who you respect wholeheartedly, that you do not need to change them, or not need to want to change them. Do you know what I mean? And like, you're never going to change a bad boy. You're never going to change a narcissist. You're wasting your own time, your own energy, and your own self-respect by going into these kind of relationships. So instead of saying, my bad boy is my type, ask yourself, what do I need to heal here? Because that's not right. You know, if you're accepting disrespect in relationships, if you're accepting being treated like shit, abused, this treating mean, keeping keen energy, that's bullshit. That is not right. You don't treat people like that. And, you know, for you as an unhealed woman, then rejecting a man for being authentic, rejecting a man for being emotional, rejecting a man for being vulnerable, that's your shit that you need to heal. And that's not right either. You know what I mean? Like, what we've experienced for generations is absolutely disgusting. And we're here to break that cycle. We're here to do that healing, both men and women and all genders. We're here to do that fucking healing so that, you know, our future kids can actually witness a healthy relationship dynamic. See what true love really is. See what true respect is. Respect of each other, but respect of ourselves. Do you want to continue to carry on the model of toxic love for future generations? Like, you know, and it's not, you know, it is about you. It's about what you deserve. And that's another thing. It's not just that we witness toxicity. We think that's all we deserve. Because of our unhealed wounding, we feel abandoned and rejected by our parents. So therefore, we don't even think we deserve healthy love. We don't even think healthy love is a real thing. We don't even know that concept. But we don't think we deserve it. So we think we actually deserve to be treated like shit. And that's why we continue to go after these toxic people, or to shun men for being authentic. You know, and it goes both ways. Like, you know, it's not just women that get the ick when a guy is nice, because obviously we think, okay, he wants something else, or he's going to turn narcissistic. Men are the same. If men have been through abusive relationships, because women can be narcissistic as well. If men have been in a toxic relationship, they're in fear of their life that then a woman is nice to them, and they're like, no, there's something wrong here. You know, I'm going to run from this because, you know, she's not mean to me. So therefore, this isn't real love. It is the same thing. You witnessed, as a man, you witnessed a volatile relationship between your parents, or abandonment or abuse, whatever it was. You attract that kind of a relationship into your life. You attract that controlling, aggressive relationship into your life. And then when you find something that's actually a decent woman or a decent partner, you run as well. You get the ick. You're like, what the fuck is going on here? This isn't normal. Why is she being so nice? Because, healed women do exist, They really do. And that's the thing. So men have to heal their shit so they're receptive of healthy love. Women need to heal their shit so they're receptive of healthy love as well. This is so important. It goes both ways. We're a generation of fucking unhealed, traumatized human beings. And it only comes down to healing our own shit so that this doesn't carry on for future generations. We're here to break the cycle, but we deserve to break the cycle. We don't deserve to be treated like shit anymore, people. We don't. Men and women, we do not deserve this shit. We deserve healthy, high vibrational, divine love. And we deserve to not be in pain anymore. We deserve to break that cycle for ourselves and for our future children. This is why it's so important to keep asking yourself, why am I repeating this pattern? Why do I attract the same kind of people? Why do I keep getting disrespect and abuse? Go back to your childhood. Ask yourself, is these relationships a model of what I experienced? Do you know what healthy love is? And it all starts within. It starts with that unconditional love towards yourself. And the only way we can do that is by healing our wounds. So that we can respect each other for being vulnerable. Respect each other for being authentic. Respect each other for showing emotion. And actually, accept healthy love. Accept being treated right. Accept that there is magic in the world and that everything doesn't have to be toxic. You do not have to keep repeating the same cycles. Break that cycle now for you and for the future of humanity. This is so important. So heal your fucking shit. This is what we need to do, guys and girls. And all genders. We all need to heal our fucking shit so that we can actually attract high vibrational, healthy relationships into our lives. Unhealed men choose unhealed women. No, did I say that right? Unhealed men and unhealed women are choosing each other. We need healed women and healed men to come together. This is what we need to do. Because unhealed women only want a bad boy because that's all they've ever known. That's all they think they deserve. So it's time to heal our shit so that we know what it's like to have a healed, healthy, loving relationship. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today, and I'd love nothing more than to help on your path.